Hello, welcome back to our channel. This video is going to be a bit different. I get asked a lot, how do we go on holiday to Florida so often? And the main reason that we get to go so often is because Steve is very good at getting decent prices for flights, hotels, villas, the tickets. So just wanted to share with everybody the different sites that he goes on, the different ways he goes about getting the prices, his hints and tips as per usual. He doesn't want to come onto the video, so it's going to be me basically relaying all of the information that he's going to give me. So hopefully it makes sense and you get some ideas on how you can book a holiday that we book when we go. We do tend to go every year, and this year we've gone twice. Well, we will have gone twice when we've gone. We're going in about a week's time. Mainly because I got a shout from the conservatory one day going, "Are we doing anything in February?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Well, I've just found a deal that's way too good to pass up. So do you want to go to Florida for the week?" So we did. So that's what happens. He finds a deal, and if I am able to take the time off work and the kids are off school, we'll go if we can. So that's what normally happens. That one was a bit of an anomaly. I think it was about £1,800 I think he managed to get flights and car hire for, and it was within the week's February holiday for the kids, so it was like, well, fine, do it. The weather's not quite as nice as it is in the summer, but compared to here at that time of year, it's very nice. So that's what we did, and there were a few videos from that holiday on our channel if you want to go and have a look. But yeah, that's what normally happens. He's always looking. He's on different websites constantly looking for flights because he doesn't like to come home from a holiday and not have anything else to look forward to. And next holiday is already booked. Well, we've booked the flights. We haven't booked anything else yet, but as it's his 50th birthday year next year, we are hopefully going to do a few things that are slightly different. So we've literally just booked flights to Miami at the moment, and then we'll go from there. So at least we've got that to look forward to Easter next year. So yeah, so this video is just me hopefully showing you some of the websites that he goes on to find the different offers that we use. And yeah, hope you enjoy. Okay, to look for flights, you would use Skyscanner or Momondo. They're both very similar. Skyscanner, you put in where you want to go from. You can put the UK, but it's best to put where you want to go from. You can select Birmingham or wherever, but the London airports tend to be cheaper. So if you put in London, any. If you're flying to Florida, you've got the choice of Orlando, Tampa or Miami. You can also fly to Melbourne, which is where TUI fly to. You can go for Manchester, Newcastle, Birmingham and also London, but the Birmingham service is going to finish in October this year. TUI do tend to be cheaper if you can leave your booking until the very last minute, but that would be booking with the flights and the hotel. We book everything separately, so going from London, If you're going to Florida for the first time and you're wanting to do the theme parks, you're probably best to fly into Orlando because you are pretty much into the centre of everything. Miami is about 4 to 5 hour drive away, but our preference tends to be Tampa. It's just an hour's drive from Tampa to the Orlando area, and it's pretty easy to get to, and then you're back in the thick of everything. Looking at dates, you can see school holidays is a little bit more expensive, but if you can try and go a day or so either side, that works out cheaper. Also, if you can fly on a Monday or a Tuesday, that tends to work out cheaper than flying out on a Saturday. So on here, if we look at the 23rd of September, coming back on the 7th of October, we'll put in 2 adults and 2 children. You do pay slightly less for children, but not by much. Also, children under 2 fly for free as long as they are sat on your lap. And if you have a baby travelling with you, you can get the Sky Cot on some flights. In a minute, you'll see the flights come up on the website. The flights are direct. You can get flights with stops, 1 or 2 layovers. It takes more time, but the flights are cheaper. But you can see on here that we've got flights with Virgin and BA, which are direct because of it being out of the school time and being able to fly whenever. They are quite a decent price. I mean, you've got the British Airways there for £341. What you will see on here though is just the flight price. So you will have to add on about £80 to £100 per person for your baggage alongside the prices with these flights. But to give you a bit of a ballpark, we paid over £700 each using this site, flying with this in the school holidays. So you can see the difference that it makes flying outside of school times. So you click on one and then it'll bring up lots of different sites. So you can see all the different sites there coming up. We've used them quite a bit, so our preference probably would be Travel Up. Also, you could use Netflights or Travel Trolley. Steve says Travel Trolley is the cheaper option normally. You do also get the actual flight companies come up, so there you can see British Airways. And as British Airways is 354 and Netflights is 338, some people would prefer to maybe book through British Airways because it is then all done direct through them, whereas these are other third parties that you need to book through. If you book through the third company, you book it and you're given a reference. You then go to either the British Airways or the Virgin website, put in your reference, and then all of your details come up straight away to show that your flight is booked with them. Sometimes you do have changes, so the third party will contact you, but then you have to go onto the actual flight company, so either Virgin or British Airways, and accept the change. We've had one recently where we were contacted by Virgin and also the third party company to make the change, so we just booked onto Virgin and the change had already been applied for us. Again, it's completely up to yourself. You can book direct with like British Airways or Virgin through this. It does give you the best price, but it's completely up to you. So these are the prices off peak. On here now, Steve's going to now check Orlando. Tampa does tend to be cheaper. We've found it's worked out about £100 cheaper before now than trying to go into Orlando. But he's just going to check now to see what the prices are into Orlando. And I think, if I remember correctly, they actually came up a little bit cheaper or around about the same. To be honest, that is the bonus with flying off-peak, so outside of the school holiday times. One, the flights are a lot cheaper, but also, you know, there's not much difference between Orlando and Tampa. But flying within the school holidays, we have found Tampa to be quite a lot cheaper. Like I say, it was £100 cheaper for us this time to fly into Tampa. As we said, Orlando, you are literally 20 minutes, half an hour from the Kissimmee area. So if you are going to Florida for the first time and you can get prices pretty similar to going to Tampa, I would always probably go to Orlando because you are right there and it's a lot easier to drive to. So here's all your prices. Of these, Steve would probably use Travel Up or with British Airways Direct. Sometimes with British Airways you can get the car hire as well. So when we went in February, that's the deal that he actually worked out. It was the flight and car hire direct with British Airways that we used when we went in February. I think we paid just under £2,000 for all four of us for the flight and the car hire. So yeah, that's how to look for your flights. We would advise using either Skyscanner or there's Momondo. Pretty much the same sort of thing. You just put in your flights and where you're going from and where you're going to and your dates. You can also use cashback websites like Quidco and Top Cashback. On flights, you can get about between £10 and £30 cashback on your flights. Okay, if you're wanting to rent a car, the best place that Steve's found for car hire is Auto Europe. Same as with flights, the prices will change daily, so Steve does tend to check every single day. When he finds a price that he likes, he will purchase it at that price. With Auto Europe, you are able to modify your booking, so if you do go back on and you see that it's a lower price, you can modify it. Go in and they will modify the price for you and refund you the difference. And you can keep on doing that right up until you go. For the booking we've currently got, he originally bought it $450 and he's been looking and checking and he's now got it for $302. We have an all-inclusive booking, which means that everything is paid for apart from your petrol. So you pick up the car and the car's full. And then when you take it back full. It's nice and easy. Everything's all paid for and done. And all you have to do is make sure you take the car back with a full tank of petrol. In terms of car size, for an average family of 4, we go with a large or with the SUV, which has always been big enough for us. Most of the companies you see there are actually on site at the airport. We'd advise you go with the thrifty dollar budget, Hertz or Avis. Some of the cheaper sites are off-site and it's not as good or as convenient. So try and make sure you go for one that's on site at the airport. So we select this one. You can see it's there. It comes with 0 excess. So if there are any issues with it, you don't have to pay anything. There is the option there for complete flexibility, but don't select that because you are able to cancel the car any time up to 24 hours beforehand without any penalties or paying any excess on it. If you want to add more than one driver, you can do that. You just have to keep an eye out for the different deals. Your spouse, you can normally get added on for free as an additional driver. I think the only exceptions to that are Thrifty and Dollar, but all the rest, Budget, Hertz, Avis, Enterprise, Alamo, they all have that option there for you for free. But yeah, additional drivers, just keep your eye out for the different offers. Also, with Auto Europe, use your Quidco because Steve thinks it's about 6% cashback you can get for going through Quidco with Auto Europe. If you're paying £400 for the car, that's quite a nice, decent cashback that you can get for that. Also, Steve said if you're not a member of Quidco or Top Cashback, use his link and he'll get some money back on that. Get yourself set up. It is for free. Only joking, you don't have to. If you would like help with planning your holiday to Florida, by all means message us. We are always happy to help. Contact us either by messaging on this video or contact us via our social media and we can help you out. If you want to look yourself, this website, thedib.com, is UK based. There are a lot of people on here who own villas over in Florida, so you can go on and ask questions and also put in what you would like. So a 3-bed, a 4-bed villa, and people will get back to you and you can find a company that you want to book a villa through. There are lots of different locations for villas in Florida. When we go, we like to stay in the Kissimmee area because it's very close to the park. So it's normally about a 10-20 minute drive to get to Disney or Universal. So it's very convenient for getting to all the different activities. You can book your villas via this site, or you can go to booking.com, which is another good option for finding and booking villas. This is the website for the company that we usually use. It's floridavillarentalvacations.com. We deal with a lovely lady called Marie. She's local to us. She actually lives in Warsaw. But they manage quite a few villas on the same estate, which is in the Kissimmee area. You can go to the website and email address is there. Just be aware they do book up very quickly, quite far in advance. So I'd advise that when you've booked your plane tickets, you contact them straight away and book to see whether there's any villas available. If it's your first time going to Florida, you might want to book a hotel so you're close to the parks. Best sites that we've used before now for booking hotels are Skyscanner, and also Netflights and Hotelopia and Trivago. So they bring up the hotel with the different prices that you can book it for. Sometimes when you see a hotel on these websites, it's sometimes better to go to their actual website because it can be cheaper, especially if you can find a promo code or sign up to their membership plan. You can normally get the hotel a little bit cheaper that way, which is what we've done. We've got 2 nights at the end of our holiday this time where we're staying in a hotel, and he was able to get it cheaper by booking direct with them. He got the parking cheaper as well. Something else that hotels have started to do now is apply service charges and also parking charges for your stay. Sometimes it's a bit of a hidden extra, so be careful. Make sure you read the small print when you're booking your hotel, otherwise you're going to find you've got a bit of a nasty surprise when you come to pay at the end. It's going to be more expensive. As you can see there are plenty of hotels around, both with very close to the parks and also in the Kissimmee area. You could book with Disney Direct. The only thing with booking Disney Direct is your rooms are more expensive, and it is literally a room with a bathroom. There's no other sort of facilities in the room other than a fridge. Whereas other hotels, you can possibly get a suite where you've got cooking facilities and also washing facilities. It's all dependent on what you're wanting out of your holiday. Don't forget to use your cashback sites, so your Quidco and Top Cashback. It's just, you're booking a very expensive holiday. It's just nice to be able to get a little bit back on all the different elements that you're buying. A lot of these hotels also have breakfast included. So the hotel that we're going to be staying in, we've got a hot breakfast and also food and drinks included later on in the day as well. So just keep your eye out and look into each hotel and what's available at each. A lot of hotels also provide transport to the parks, but they're not very reliable. So if you don't have a car, you're probably best maybe staying on property, so either Disney or Universal, or staying as close as you can. To get access into the USA now, you will need to fill in an ESTA and get approval. It's an electronic system travel authorization. They are about $16 each. One person can fill in an application for the whole family, but it is $16 each. It's not $16 per family. The ESTA is valid for 2 years, but just be careful when you are booking your ESTA. You need to be going to the authorised website. There are some dodgy websites out there, so you need to go to the website esta.cbp.dhs.gov. So on the official website, you fill in all your details, send it off, and you should get a response within an hour. So as long as it's accepted, you're free to go to the US. If you've got any convictions, then you may need to go to the consulate down in London and apply for a visa down there. But this is required and you will not be able to travel in the US without it. So, park tickets. Yes, you'll probably find this is going to be one of the most expensive parts of your holiday. You can spend as little or as much as you want on the park tickets. The more parks you want to go to, the more money you will be spending. If you are going for the first time, we understand you want to do everything. So you want to do Disney, you want to do Universal, you want to do SeaWorld. It's going to cost you a lot of money to do everything, and you will be exhausted when you get back. So you might want to have a think about your family dynamic. What do they want to do? So, if you're like us, you've got 2 young daughters, they're going to want to go to Disney. They want to go and have their photos taken with the princesses. They want to go and experience all the Disney rides. But if you've got grown up, teenage children, they might prefer to do Universal. They want to go and see Harry Potter World. They want to go and ride the rides applicable to films that they've seen. Our kids, we don't bother with Universal because they don't know hardly any of the films that are at the Universal parks. So that's something we might look again at doing in a few years. So instead of completely exhausting yourselves, have a think about the sort of parks that you want to go to. Disney, you're looking at about £400 to £550 for tickets. At the moment, they've been around the £400 mark, so that's not been too bad. Universal used to be a lot cheaper, but since they've now opened up their Epic Universe park, you're now looking at about between £350 and £400 per person for a ticket. SeaWorld is a lot cheaper. You can normally get tickets for around $50. But bear in mind, for all the parks, if you're off-site, you will need to pay for parking. Disney is currently about $25 a day. Universal, I think, is $30, possibly $35 a day. And I think SeaWorld's $40 a day. So you need to also be factoring that in on your holiday costs if you're going to be driving and parking at the parks. Websites we've used for booking tickets, you've got attractiontickets.com, Florida Tix, and also Orlando Attractions. We've also booked tickets with Disney Direct. They've been quite good this year and at the lower end. Try and use certain times of the year. So Black Friday, a lot of tickets you can get cheaper at Black Friday. SeaWorld's normally cheaper. Also Discovery Cove, if you're wanting to do Discovery Cove, we've managed to get quite good deals on the Black Friday sales. If you do want to do all of the parks, there are some sites that will do an all-in-one ticket. They are expensive. You're probably looking over £1,000 per person. Children do get slightly cheaper tickets up to the age of 9, but it's not by much. But yeah, you can get an all-in-one ticket, but just expect to pay quite a bit for it. So there you have it. There is our guide on how Steve books our holidays. So I don't know whether you got the gist of it from the video, but he does book everything separately. So he books the flight, the car, the hotel, the tickets. They all tend to be done separately. Occasionally he'll get a deal where he gets the hotel and maybe the tickets together, like what we've got this year, which we're going in 2 days. Yeah! See, Disney nails. Then other times it is everything separate. So it's more time consuming that way, but it does make sure that you get the best price possible. Our advice is use cashback websites wherever you can. You know, sometimes it might only be £10. It might be just a couple of % back. But at the end of the day, any money that you can get back on a, you know, £4,000 holiday is worth it. So, you know, use them where you can. Like I've said, we're off there in 2 days. I'm hoping to be doing some more educational videos. I don't know whether that's the right kind of word for it, but yeah, so hopefully going into a bit more information on how we do things and what we do when we're going around these parks and things like the airport, the flight. So I'm hopefully going to cover the flight this time. So airport, the flight, the food that we get. Don't forget we are vegetarian, so our food tends to be a bit rank on the planes. Kids always refuse to eat it. So we'll see what we get on the plane this time. And then a bit of the airport in Tampa if I get a chance. The only trouble is we're always rushing around. It's not like I can stop and film. But hopefully I'll be able to show you a bit of Tampa airport and a bit of the journey to Disney, because we are staying on property. Yay! So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Reach out to us if you want to. If anybody wants any further information, I am going to try and put all the websites in the description box for the video. So if you do need any information, go to the box with all, yeah, what do you call it? All my blurb for the video, and that should be on there for you. So thank you again for watching, and we'll catch you in Disney.